Hi, before I show you this one, I just wanted to say that I'm gonna do the other stars animations too. And I hope you that enjoy them, yeah. Fuck. Also, the new filter messes up the colors, so we'll live with it. I do all the voices myself, so it's kind of hard for me to do all the low ones because I actually sound like Tsumugi's voice in real life, and so it's very hard for me to do all the low ones, make them sound different. But I try my best, and there's a part where I need to talk in a low voice for a really long time, and it's probably gonna sound really weird. So like, forgive me in advance, please, and thank you, and I hope you enjoy. Man, that Sonic pic that I wrote sure was cringe. I'm having such a good time burning it. Oh my god. All my Sonic content. But it's for the best, because again, it was cringe. So, oh? It's you. And you have the decoration?
Yes, I have the declaration. Listen, do you want to see it? Look, it says notebook.
Oh, I'm honored, but I...
Yeah, no, I know we're not going to get to read it. Maybe America doesn't deserve freedom or unalienable rights.
Oh, but that's kind of mean, isn't it?
Clearly you don't understand my character arc then. My whole thing is that I'm mean and I like liquid pink. Do you understand that? Also, I'm an alpha, so, stop having opinions. Stop.
Oh, sorry. I'm just a little bit sensitive because I think my alpha is trying to break up with me, and that makes me really sad, you know.
Bitch, what the fuck? Actually, what the hell?
Oh, oh, I don't mean the trauma dump, but...
Yeah, no, what you're doing is definitely trauma dumping.
Yeah, sorry, but,
Yeah, sorry's not really gonna help. Like, I just need you to shut up, alright? Alright, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me?
uh-huh. I can. I'm gonna do it right now. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, you sure did the thing. Aww. But, I still wonder what it would be like if we actually read that declaration. Like, I mean, aside from all of your alpha drama, I mean, like, what if we actually read it?
Oh my goodness, that would be so cool. I'd love to hear it. I kind of wish I got to see it before you...
You just told me you would shut up, and now you're not shutting up. I think I can see why your alpha wants to leave you. Because you can't shut up, you can't stop yapping.
But I can. I did for a little while.
Not long enough. Oh, if only your alpha could get set free with this declaration. The unanimous declaration of the 13 states of America. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed, that when any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be charged for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the dispository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly, for opposing with manly firmness his invasions of the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states for that purpose, obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others subject to a jurisdiction foreign to our constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of predented legislation. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit while the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us, in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offences, for abolishing the free system of English laws in the neighbouring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coast, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and I can't speak English, scarcely parallel in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless savages. Those known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be a ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We've reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their need of justice and what the hell does that say? And we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denotes the separation, and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind under peace and war and peace, friend. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name, and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these United Colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the great state of Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have the power to levy war, conclude peace, contract allies, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. You know, this feels oddly reminiscent of a previous episode where I saw a bird shitting on a piece of paper. Oh, hey, wait a minute, it's the same bird shitting on a piece of paper. Oh my god. It is a piece of the Declaration, just like last episode when they were giving the preview for this episode. Whatever. Now time to read this Sonic fanfiction. Sonic's gay ball problems. Oh, this one will be thrilling. I can already tell I'm going to enjoy this quite a bit. Oh my god. I've gone too long without the presence of an Omega. I think I'm going to die. This can't be the end for me. Please, I am the Alpha. No, one day I can become a Sigma male if I just hold on. Please, I need tsumugi. Wataru, anybody. Oh, hey, wait a minute. This is really ironic. Like, narratively speaking. It is. I love being plot convenient just for you. Really? Well, obviously you do like being plot convenient, especially for me, because you also brought these plot convenient flowers. But why? Oh, well, the reason is simple. I wanted to confess my undying love to you, because I did actually overhear that conversation you had in the wings that one night. You what? You overheard what? Pardon me? Yeah, actually, I overheard that whole thing. It's... Oh, yeah, and so did Shio. She was there, too. You just didn't see him. Because he hides from Has-Been Hotel fans. Oh, and that Kanata guy? Did you hear? He finally got a brain. Look at him with his brain donor. How cute. Aren't they just the sweetest? I love them. Yes, and that Sakura guy. He went on Eurovision again, but this time with a band. And I've heard that he's in the semifinals, so... Oh, and remember that tsumugi guy? The Omega that you abandoned? Yo, he found someone else, so you should definitely be with me now, Eichi. What do you think? Oh, wouldn't that just be the sweetest? Come on, let's have a happy ending. Please. I'm still not really over him, you know? It's literally been like, how many seconds of video footage? Like in the last episode, I told him that I actually, oh, well. You can forget about him now, clearly, sweetie. Come on, let's make some liquid purple together and summon a demon that actually won't take over anyone's body. Please, 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 please. I promise it'll be fun. And do I really want you as my new Omega? You do. What is this? It's blue. It's blue like... tsumugi? What on earth? Why did you... It's blue like a Sonic, because this is Tsumugi's Sonic fanfiction. Don't you want to read it? Come on, figure out what your ex is writing about, huh? What's this about Sonic's gay ball problems? Oh my god. This is absolute garbage fire. Omegas really can't write, can they? Yikes. You kind of make him seem like a loser, so I guess I'm glad to be with you. By the way, is Keito still doing my dishes? He showed up at the beginning of the series and I made him do my dishes, and I don't know if he's done them yet or not because we haven't really what? Haven't really cut back to him? Well, guess what? We're not going to. Guess what we're cutting to instead? It's Natsume. This is the time that he handed me the Declaration of Independence. This is a really good flashback. But actually, I found the Declaration of Independence quite literally being shat upon. But you managed to preserve this Sonic fanfiction? I don't understand. Why? How? It's because... I found an extra copy of the fanfiction in the library. You know, they burned one copy, but that doesn't mean you burned them all. Sadly, there was only one copy of the Declaration of Independence after it got turned back on again, so you know how it is. I don't, actually. I really don't. Oh. Well, that's too bad, sweetie. Why do you keep calling me sweetie? That is so weird. That is so out of character. Why do you talk like Rarity? Are you really an Omega? You can trust me. And I talk like Rarity because what? Come on, tell me. If you lie to me like Tsumugi did, Kitten, I'm gonna jump out this window. Maybe I will anyway, even if you aren't lying, because the Sonic fanfiction is just so ass. Like, there's a whole chapter about them going to prom, and they don't actually go to prom. Yes, that's just because Omegas can't write. I mean, look at me, I'm not the one who wrote the Declaration of Independence New Edition. I mean, yeah? Yeah, it's true, but... well, thank you for trying to help me get over him. I think that maybe... with you as my Omega, we can actually do some good in the world. I really want you because I really love the color blue and I think it is the best color for an Omega to be. You, Tsumugi, I don't know, Kanata I guess maybe, I don't fucking care. But like, you would be preferable, you know what I mean? I care a lot about you, and, if I wasn't in the hospital getting my vaccines and reading Sonic fanfiction, I would kiss you, you know? I've got this pent up alpha energy from being stuck in this bed, and I can't, oh yes, I would never be able to understand that as an omega, but, maybe we could go out sometime. Do you want to go to the opera? There's this one sign that sings opera in a different language, but nobody can tell what it is, so do you want to go and try and figure it out, or do you want to go somewhere else? I want to go literally anywhere that does not contain Tsumugi Alba Sonic fanfiction. Do you understand? Oh, yes. Well, I must be going. I need to go cameo as the persona again. So, yes, you're on your own for that one. Yeah. See you, my alpha. See you some other time. La 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 la. Tra la la. By the way, your performance was great. I loved when they sang last Friday night and My Chemical Romance at the same time. Thank you, my omega? Yep, don't mention it. That's the story of how I got an omega. And also, I'm still the best alpha, fuck you. Do you know what I'm about to say right now to you? That's right. This silence, why, to my alpha ears, it sure speaks volumes.